and welcome to Wrestle Talk with Arabbidb3aver. And joining me today is none other than White Lightning Casey Cazana, the East Tennessee Heavyweight Champion and half of the NWA's United States Tag Team Champions. He is here right here with us live in the studio today, and I hope for you all to see greatness as it's meant to be with Casey Cazana. White Lightning Casey Cazana, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing taco-tastic. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm doing wonderful. Now, before we get started, we have something very special that we want to do today. Bobby Lee, the announcer, the ring announcer, the commentary team announcer for the School of Morton passed away, and we want to dedicate this show to Robert Spires, a.k.a. Bobby Lee, for his memory. And we're going to show a picture of it right here for you guys so you can see. Let's take a moment of silence for him, guys. All right, let's jump right into it. So, Casey, I know that you have had a lot of things going on, but we're going to start with Shockwave, which is going to be taking place January 11th in Forney, Texas at the OC Theater. So I know you've got some special things happening that's going to be taking place there with none other than Eric Smalls and his mystery partner. I believe his name is Sam. Is that what's going on?
Sam Stackhouse. That's his name.
Sam Stackhouse. How do you feel about beating up a midget?
Well, that's Eric Smalls would get mad at me if I called him that. He'd beat me up. But
he's going to beat me up for calling him that, to be honest with you.
Looking at this match, it's a non-title. So it just gives us a reason to go out there and whoop up on Sam Stackhouse. Give us a reason to whoop up on Knox and Murdoch's buddy, little Eric Smalls. And hopefully Knox and Murdoch's watch it and they give us a shot at the world tag titles. I mean, back in the day, I don't know if it's still going in this Latin in One lore, but in the book, by the book, Joe Cazana's book, it says the NWA United States Tag Team Champions are the #1 contenders for the NWA World Tag Team titles. But yet, teams like the Slime Balls get an opportunity more than us.
Very true. That is very true. I think the Slime Balls currently have had 3 separate occasions to take those titles away from Knox and Murdoch. And I believe Blunt Force Trauma, if I'm correct, has had 2 different occasions to take those away from Knox and Murdoch. But how many have the Country Gentlemen got?
We've had 0. Big old goose egg.
Billy.
I think Knox and Murdoch's maybe a little scared because we match up with them pretty well.
I don't think Trevor Murdoch is afraid of anybody. I will go on record and say that. Now, however, I do think that he's afraid of losing gold. I will say that.
I would be afraid of losing some gold. These titles ain't going anywhere. We're coming for that Midnight Express. Excuse me. I'm stuttering. I'm having an energy drink. We're coming for that Midnight Express record. I guarantee, I hope and pray we keep these tag titles for a year. Plus, could you imagine the shot of me and AJ with Papa Joe holding these United States tag titles and holding the world tag titles to be the undisputed NWA tag team champions? Imagine.
I almost would bet that they would have to build a new set of titles just for you all to be the undisputed tag titles. I would go that far.
They might be. But you know what will add a little bit of sugar on top of that little cupcake? Or icing on the cake, or whatever they call it. Having the Crockett Cup right in the middle.
That's what I was about to say. You guys are going for the Crockett Cup, correct? You guys are in that tournament.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't done my history, I haven't looked, but the only set of brothers to win the Crockett Cup have been the Briscoes.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
So to put us up there with the Briscoes as the only other brother tag team to win the Crockett Cup would be pretty cool. It'd be a pretty cool little moment for the Country Gentlemen.
But you have a lot of tag teams that are going for that Crockett Cup as well that are going to be involved in it, such as Knox and Murdoch that we mentioned earlier, such as the Wrecking Ball Legursky, the Fixers. They're going to be involved in that as well. and so many more, which I believe Wrecking Ball Legursky is also in the singles tournament. Is that not correct? So he might have a little bit more on his table than
him and old
chew
Kerry
there.
Morton, Rock and Roll Son, are I don't know what the ranking is, but I know they're set to face in the first round of this number one contender tournament thing for the world title. Hey, who knows? Aaron Stevens is announced to wrestle Tom Lattimore for that title. Have you seen it? Did you see it?
He did.
Did you notice there was a question mark though behind Aaron Stevens' name?
Yeah, because he always finds a way to weasel out of something.
Aaron Stevens?
Question mark. They do have an opening, Casey, in that tournament as well. And I do have to ask you right here on the spot, are you going to be putting your name in the hat, especially since you did so well against EC3
I would love to be in the tournament to go after the world title. But I think the 8th seed is going to be determined, if I'm not mistaken, between Colby Carino, Sam Adonis, and I want to say Tyler Franks. I want to say Tyler Franks is in that mix.
I think he's still recovering from his injury that he did to his elbow a while back, but I do believe you're right. I think that's what they've got listed on the card currently.
Graphic I've seen.
So I think you're absolutely right, but I had to ask, because they do still have one opening available. I didn't know if you were going to be putting your name in that hat and trying to do a double there, grabbing the Crockett Cup and the world title all in one.
If the opportunity, I could become the youngest. I have at least till April to become the youngest NWA World Heavyweight Champion. To be etched in history would mean everything to me. I'm already etched in history with this title, being the youngest ever NWA United States Tag Team Champion.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You also had a little bit of bad blood with Carson Drake, and I believe you etched out a challenge on another podcast that we were able to watch and be a part of. And that would also, if he accepts and you win that title, the television title, the NWA television title, you'd be the youngest ever television title holder in history. Carson, is that correct?
Bartholomew Drake, the get that guy, the Count Dracula or whatever, from Sesame Street. I'm not old enough to remember Sesame Street. I know. He just became the youngest NWA World Television Champion. And he's like 25, 26, one of the two. And then think I'm only 22 years old. I have a chance to become the youngest. I am the youngest NWA United States Tag Team Champion. There's opportunities to become the youngest world champion, the youngest world television champion. Then I don't know who the youngest national heavyweight champion was, but I think I have a good shot to become that one. Heck, I might be the youngest world tag team champion. Who knows?
That's very true. And you also might be the youngest one to ever win the Crockett Cup. So we have to put that in there. And we know you're going for the Crockett Cup. And if you're able to get past Smalls and Sam, who do you think your next opponent would be?
We put a beat down on Eric Smalls, Sam Stackhouse so badly that here comes old Knox and Murdoch to save the day. Because them and Eric, they're pretty tight. So I would go to venture to say Knox and Murdoch might be the next for the country gentlemen. But whoever wants a shot at these United States tag titles, I'd give a thumbs up. I'm pretty cool. You just name the time and place. We're fighting champions. We already defended these titles in almost 10 different states. We're at like 7 or 8, one of the two. So whoever across all of the US of A, I would love to go to Hawaii. Surprisingly, I would love to go to Alaska to knock out those two. That's not connected to the continental United States. That'd be pretty cool. I love to wrestle in Alaska.
You might just get the chance to within the next year, Casey. There's lots of opportunities opening up with the National Wrestling Alliance, especially with them opening up the territory system again. And and entering in, I mean, they added some new territories in Missouri, and they also added new territories within the past year in Texas as well. So they're working that way towards out of the continental United States to get that territory open. I would love to see them go to Hawaii.
That'd be
I'd love
dope.
to see them go to Alaska. It would be. Absolutely would be. So we want to see you be able to get there. And you were talking about, just in case you were able to get past Smalls and Sam, that the next challengers very well may be the World Tag Team title holders in Knox and Murdoch. If you're able to get past Sam, like you mentioned it earlier, Eric Smalls is tight. He's really tight with Knox and Murdoch. And you know what they say about Smalls? You mess with him, you're going to get hit in the balls. Do you have a fear?
We watch film, we tape study. Me and AJ are former collegiate athletes. We tape study. So we'll be prepared. Just saying, we'll be prepared.
I would almost venture to say that if your dad is there, if old Joe is there, he's going to do it by the book, baby. He's going to keep Smalls from doing it. But you just have to prepare.
Right.
Just
There's
in
no
case.
telling what kind of rules they're going to break. Dad has the rule book. So he's very on top of the rules. He has to have a meeting with Mr. Corgan almost weekly, almost daily at this point, to make sure no one's breaking the rules. Because if you don't do it by the book, you can't sit with us.
And as we've seen in the past, those that have broken the rules have had a long and strenuous, let's say, suspension given to them, such as a tag team that you're very familiar with in the Brothers of Funstruction. So, we've got to at least say that is you guys are definitely going to be playing by the book, and you're going to be watching very closely, and your dad's going to be watching very closely, which brings me to something else. Now, your dad owns a territory in the National Wrestling Alliance too, and you guys just hosted a show in December, the end of December. That's Crazy right. Fights, is that correct?
We put an old nice butt whooping to the Stew Crew. But the episode already aired. We buried the hatchet. We're going to go our separate ways from each other. Maybe me and Big Stu can go back and being best buddies like we used to. I still don't trust that Dylan fella. He smiles a little weird. But we put our differences aside, and we're going to go off on our own merry little ways.
Well, it begs a question here, especially since you're saying you buried the hatchet. Do you really think you buried the hatchet with old Silverback Zach? Do you really believe
Zach.
that?
I've always trusted Zach. We've been this close. We've been this far away from each other at times. But I think he has a special place in his heart for me. But I don't trust that Dylan Stewart fella as far as I can throw him. He's getting a little methodical, a little Joker-like here recently.
He's really been kind of the driving force behind the anger that you've seen in Zach's face, that we've seen in Zach's face recently. And I think a lot of it comes from them losing the titles and not being able to hold on to them. And he's kind of jealous of currently who has the titles. Would you say that's a fair take?
Because they both look like $1 million. The Blockbusters, if you don't know who the NWA JCP Southeastern Tag Team Champions are, that's a mouthful. They are over in the UK defending our titles with pride and with honor. And I think it bugs them that they can't get their rematch. But there's are the number one contenders for our tag titles. And that is the JV squad with the veteran Jack Vaughn and Dalton McKenzie.
That's a great point that you mentioned. They won that. JV was actually out. Jack Vaughn was actually out the night that they won that contract. And Dalton ended up picking it off of a ladder match. He won it. Picked that thing clean.
It felt like 15 stories. Dylan tried to kill me. Thank goodness my big brother and his big brother were down there. The two biggest guys in the match were to catch me. If not, I probably would have broken an ankle, broken a leg. Who knows?
Well, the question comes is, do you think Dylan and Jack Vaughn are becoming more and more impatient as time passes because they're having to wait for their shot.
They possibly could be. I don't know. I'm not in Jack's mind. I'm not in Dylan's. I don't want to be in Dylan's mind. But if I didn't hold gold in a territory show or a territory promotion like KFW or JCP, Chicago, where else I don't want to miss, Exodus Pro, or now we got Texas and World League, I would want that in my hands. I am the NWA. I'm already NWA champion. I would love to hold all the gold I can. You remember the time I held 3 tag team titles with 3 different opponents across 3 different or 2 different states across 3 different promotions. So I am not strangers to championships. I'm strangers to singles championships. I've only held 1 of those 2 of those in my career, and that is the East Tennessee Heavyweight title, which I'm still holding, by the way. Don't forget. And then the SPCW Junior Heavyweight Championship are like the only 2 singles titles I've ever had. Everything else has been tag team.
That's very true. But the question presents is if they become more and more disgruntled by not getting their title shot, do you think that they'll try to step up to the next level and request a match between you and your brother?
They just might possibly do that. We already saw what happened with the Stu Crew. If the JV squad want to run it back, they did get one up on us when we were at Exodus. I ain't gonna lie, they did get one up on us. Well, that was because the slime balls were there. They were doing like this slime ball or whatever. I don't want to get into that. That was disgusting. I don't know what they were drinking. It smelled really, really bad. But if they want to step up to probably one of the best tag teams in the NWA right now, feel free. We're fighting champions. We're defending champions. No matter who wants to step across the ring from the Brute and White Lightning, be our guest.
See, that's a very interesting thing that you said right there, because there's lots of tag teams that could be open to doing that, including the Southern Six. Now, they've got 3 different members. So how are you going to be able to defend yourself against none other than the Thrillbilly himself, Silas Mason, and that sneaky little one, Alex Taylor?
I don't think we have fought that combination of the 6. We have fought this combination of Thrilly and Kerry Morton, fought the combination of AT and Kerry Morton, but we haven't fought. Oh, and then Kerry Morton, or not Thrilling AT, excuse me. AT and Kerry James, Kerry Morton, and then Thrillbilly and Kerry Morton. We've never fought Thrillbilly when he was with AT. That hasn't happened yet. I mean, Alex Taylor is the NWA Junior World Heavyweight Champion.
And it's very likely that it could happen, though, at any promotion, anytime, especially since the big man is watching today. Billy is watching, so he might book that. Would you be prepared for it if he does?
I'm saying. I'm throwing it out there. I'm 225. I could cut 2 pounds any day, anytime. But whoever, the 6, they're a unique team. Still, Billy is the biggest man to ever live. When we wrestled him at KFW, I took, I don't know what they call it. It was a flapjack into like a face buster. I think they call it the somebody suck me driver. And then I also took the kiss it goodbye and then the thrill ride. How am I still alive or walking or standing?
Absolutely, especially after all the pain that was demonstrated there. That was in Sevierville, Tennessee, is where that took place at KFW, and that was a few months ago in November. You took a beating, basically, is what's happened there, and that's why I said, they've kind of been doing their research and studying too. But also another group has mentioned it right here. ICT Ice Cream Truck is saying one more time they want one more match with you guys. What would you say to that?
Back, all you have to do is search on the Ricky Morton YouTube channel, Greene County Fair, and watch what happens when me and AJ strolled into Greenville, Tennessee, took Ice Cream Truck's precious little East Tennessee Tag Team Championships, and then we went and won the Rock and Roll Invitational Tag Team Tournament. But if they want to run it back because we've all grown from that situation, and they want to challenge for some NWA gold, who am I to say no?
You hear that, ice cream truck? You hear that, Squeaks? He's saying he won't say no. The question is, would your brother? Do you think your brother would not be up
My
for
brother
the challenge?
fears no man. He might fear a little bit of women, but he fears no man. So who knows? If somebody wants to write it down, book us against each other one time, we'll gladly beat up on ice cream truck. But out of respect, though, I like those guys a little bit. I like Truck. The clown, he's weird. He's a clown. Do you like clowns?
I love
weird.
Clowns.
But
I am not weird. You want to know why I love clowns? Because the Brothers of Funstruction made it fun again for wrestling and tag team wrestling. Have you not noticed it? They play all the games in the world, and they're the dirtiest players in tag team wrestling. But my God, when it comes to time to win, those boys know how to win. Whether they hit you with a flower, they hit you with their tie, or they hit you with a nose. And that's what I'm saying here. I'd love to see that one ran back, Casey. If you guys had the opportunity, would you give the Brothers of Funstruction
I haven't wrestled the Brothers of Funstruction. The old country gentleman, when he was with the He Who Shall Not Be Named, because I don't want to give him the credibility or the publicity.
I'll say it. Anthony Andrews.
And my brother, I think they've wrestled him once or twice, but I haven't got to lock horns with them, and I would love to do that. So if they want a shot, I'm just come on. I'm not going to say no. We want to get all these defenses under our belt.
And I would agree with that. I think that would be one of the more interesting matches that could be booked in an NWA setting. So if your dad is watching, if your dad's going to hear about this at all, book it, Joe. Make it happen, baby. We'd love to see the Brothers of Funstruction come on JCP territory and get a title shot. That'd be an excellent match for you guys to have. Book it, baby. Let's make it happen.
I would be.
You ready for
I
that
also
one?
see this where it says Brain KC to Chattanooga. I know Jay Newman's down there in old Chattanooga. I know my boy Tyrone's down there in Chattanooga. Legend Pat Rose.
Yes, sir.
Bring me.
And I believe TKO runs down here every once in a while, Casey, as well.
Well, he's let me hop in the car with him, and we'll just ride down.
It'd be great. Speaking of TKO at the School of Morton, you had a match with him.
I did not.
This
the
past
graphic
week, did you
didn't
not?
say me and TKO were wrestling each other.
It said you had a special announcement, is what it had. I was just trying to weasel it out.
Tune in to see that special announcement. I'm media trained. All right.
I know, but I almost had you. You almost had you hooked. Yeah, they had a special announcement. You have to tune in, like you said, to the YouTube page at Ricky Morton, under YouTube, Ricky Morton. Check it out for the School of Morton. And you can check that out on Sunday. It will be released about 5:05 p.m. is when it's going to be coming out, and you can catch that out. Now, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's happening at the School of Morton where you yourself have become a trainer, one of the lead trainers there, under Miss Kinsey Page as well. And while we're talking about it, let me get the graphic up here because I know it's going to pop up here pretty soon. We're going to show it. Under their website at the School of Morton, you can definitely check out the training tab right here at the top, and you can scroll on down and you can be able to become it. You've got questions, they'll answer it for you. You can put your information into the box that's down there, and they had special classes, including one with Mike Quackenbush here recently. And from everything I've heard, that was an excellent training session. I haven't heard anything bad. I've talked to about 12 different people who are involved in it, and everybody, including the American Diesel dump truck, has told me great things that has happened there. So I got to ask you, if they're interested, Casey, why choose the School of Morton?
We'll teach you how to work the hard cameras in wrestling. You'll also learn your basics, fundamentals. And me and Kinsey both were trained by the greatest trainer of all time, Dr. Tom Pritchard. And we bring that Dr. Tom knowledge with us to the School of Morton. And who better to be the trainers than the youngest NWA World's Women's Champion than Kinsey Page? Who better than the youngest NWA United States Tag Team Champion, White Lightning? I've only been wrestling for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I've done more than what others have accomplished in 20 years. and people get mad at me for it. You can say I'm dogging a certain someone. I don't care. I'm just speaking the facts. I got in with a big-time company really fast, and I've got opportunities, not just because of who my family is, not just because I'm Joe Cazana's kid, like everyone's going to say, not just because I'm AJ Cazana's little brother, but I want to say it. I got to my own horn sometimes. I'm pretty damn good at this wrestling stuff. Like, I'm throwing it out there. Like, I'm just shooting from the hip at this point.
You broke in with the right people at the right time, and you got trained by the right people at the right time, and it just skyrocketed for you, Casey. And that's what a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of people who have been trained, and they've been trained well, but it just wasn't their time just yet. And you don't ever know. You don't ever know if it's going to be 3 weeks in, 6 months in, 2 years in, 12 years in, when you're going to get that call or when you're going to get that nod. And so you've gained jealousy. You've gained a lot of jealousy really quick, especially from one Johnny Poke, let's say, like that. We'll call it out. There's a lot of jealousy there.
Right.
Some people have been trained a long time, and they're not getting the spotlight that you've got and that you've deserved.
I think Poke deserves a shot at the NWA, at other companies. Poke's pretty good. He took me to the limit whenever we wrestled for the junior heavyweight title.
He's damn good.
I would love to see Poke at the next level. I just saw somewhere that said Jay Newman versus Casey Cazana would be money. Sorry, I'm watching it on my little Twitch so I can see so I got the little stream delay.
That's okay.
But I saw Casey Cazana versus Jay Newman. Fun fact, we've wrestled already, me and Jay Newman, at NWA JCP. And we tore it down. That made Pat Rose, he was in attendance, he goes, that was the most beautiful match he's seen to date. And it brought him to literal tears down his face. But speaking of Pat Rose, I'm going to go back to Chattanooga. If Jay Newman wants to bring me in, I'm just right down the road, about 45 minutes away. Bring me in, put me against Ty Rose. I love to go against Ty. We're both generational kids. Our dads used to run the roads back in the day. So let me and Ty a little square up in the ring.
And you know, TWE has a pay-per-view coming up that's going to be hosted by Jamison Schutt. And Jacob Noonan is scheduled to be there. So is Ty. So that could be a nice little spot for you for TWE if you get in that. And Championship One Wrestling is also going to be hosting a 2-year anniversary show. So you could be right down the road in McDonald, Tennessee, right down from Cleveland, Tennessee. And anything's possible, Casey. You know, your booking information is out there. It's actually on the opening page for this. If you guys are tuning in live right now, we have your booking information directly up there. Get a hold of him. Book
I want to
him.
be
He
everywhere,
wants to wrestle.
anywhere where I can be. I want to wrestle every Thursday through Sunday. I had that scheduled for like 2 weeks. 1, I made a lot of money, and that was really fun. 2, I just love wrestling. And like, the traveling sucks. Being in a car sucks. But going to see places with my brother, that's pretty cool. I'll put it out there. I like AJ. I love AJ. And going to see these awesome places with somebody like my brother, like my dad.
Like Connor Martin?
Who Connor Martin ever beat?
Well, apparently you beat the crap out of him at Beside the Ring Championship Wrestling a few weeks ago as a tag team. You were his tag team partner.
Stretch. We faced this team. I think they're out of Virginia or West Virginia, one of those over there, called YTB. I thought it stood for Y'all the Bums, but I was wrong.
I don't know what to say to that, Casey.
Connor knows he should have known better than a team with me to trust me like that. If he watched that, I've been hanging around AJ a little bit more. I'm getting a little bit of a mean streak to me. And Connor just wasn't ready for it.
He underestimated you, which brings me to my next point. Not only did he underestimate you, but I believe that we've seen the Golden Child, Evan Golden, try to tag team with you and come to your rescue. And I don't trust you, Casey. I'm just going to be honest. I don't trust you with him, especially after what I saw with Connor Martin.
You trust Evan, but not me? That's wild.
I would trust Evan in this situation over you, to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you why is because, you attack somebody who actually had your back 100% at Beside the Ring Championship Wrestling and probably would have done anything for you. If you would have asked him to kiss your boots, he probably would have kissed your boots because he worships the ground that you walk on.
I walk in there and I see Connor Martin have a shrine. I kid you not, a shrine of Casey Cazana. A little picture of me sitting up by his little suitcase. I'm just like, this kid's weird. I don't know. But back to Evan. I think Evan turned a new leaf.
You really believe Evan's turned a new leaf?
Why else would he come to my rescue after I took his East Tennessee Heavyweight Championship?
Because he's trying to get his East Tennessee Heavyweight Championship back. He might just be trying to butter you up for that match.
But Evan, he don't know no better.
You don't know no better.
That's so whenever he came to save me against that stupid Max Abel, Von Miller. Did you catch the ending of the match, right? Where I gave Von the lightning line and me and Evan laid there after. I don't want to talk about it. But I trust that Evan has turned a new leaf. I trust his dad. I like his dad. His dad's pretty cool. Me and Eddie had a talk. I was like, hey, you got to talk to your boy. He needs to see the right things to do. And I guess I talked with him because then he came to my rescue. That was my bingo card.
I don't trust it. I don't trust you with him, and I'll tell you why is because you have history with Gen 3 Express. You have history with Michael Gabriel. You have history with Evan Golden himself. And here's where it gets tricky. Michael Gabriel has turned a new leaf, and the Book of Gabriel is leading him and his followers into some place that we've never seen before. And Evan still has strong ties there, does he not?
I think he does.
Would you agree with that?
But I don't think they're as strong as people think it is. I know it's still there, but I don't. That Book of Gabriel, I get a bad vibe from that book whenever I'm around it.
Well, as a follower of the Book of Gabriel, as Evan Golden is and has been for a long period of time, it may have taught him some sneaky things like those fireballs coming from the book.
I don't think
you not
Evan
agree with
knows
that?
how to condone a fireball. I don't think he has that power of the book yet. Sal the Pal has the power of the book.
That's absolutely true. We got to see that in Sunbright, Tennessee.
Maybe, I don't know. Now you're making me think now. Maybe. Michael Gabriel has Evan on a little string, right? Out of the book. And then whenever he snaps his finger.
And that's why I said I don't trust you with him, Casey. I don't trust you over him. It's because we know where his allegiance are. We know where his allegiance are tied.
The benefit of the doubt. I'm all about giving someone a second chance. And Evan deserves a second chance, in my opinion.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I can live with that. But I'm gonna warn you right here. Don't trust him as far as you can throw him, Casey. Just don't do it. I mean, I'm just gonna be straight with you. I mean, I think that the Michael Gabriel is definitely running muck here, and he's challenged RT3 at the last School of Morton episode that we got to see live on YouTube, right there at Ricky Morton, under Ricky Morton, his tab there. And we got to see him challenge. He's challenged RT3, so he's got big things planned. He's got big things coming. And we're waiting to see if RT3 is going to answer that call. But I guarantee you, if he does, the number one man that's going to be behind him is not going to be who's been standing behind him the whole time. It's not just going to be Hunter Wolf. I guarantee you'll see Evan Golden come out of the woodwork. Yeah, he's got Two-Face, Dirty Diamond Demons. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Beside the Ring Championship Wrestling. Let's just go there if we're going to go there. All right. So he faced Heath Slater at the last one, did he not? What happened? Any means necessary,
I don't want to give
right?
him credit, but
Any means necessary. So do you really think that you're going to be able to trust him with that mindset?
I mean,
any means
him and
necessary.
we have more in common than Evan thinks we do. because we do stuff by the book, and we'll do anything to win. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Fair enough. I mean, you know how to bend the rules of the book to where you're not necessarily breaking them.
I haven't once in my career. Okay? Not even one time. That was
never held tights.
No, people.
You're not going to admit it, are you? There. Well, I'm going to tell you this. We caught you holding tights against Johnny Poke, and we have footage on our page for that junior heavyweight championship in SPCW a couple months ago. Yes, you would. So that's why I said, so are we going to really go down this road of who do we trust more? Because I don't trust you against Evan Golden. I can't trust you together, to be honest with you. I can't trust either one of you, but I would trust him over you.
No, you're not going to say, you might not trust us together, but we are from the greatest group in SOM history, in my opinion. Out of all of SOM, the Gen 3 Express, we ran School of Morton so badly enough that they had to try and break us up when they couldn't break us up. Evan and Michael Gabriel got a little bit of jealous whenever I was like, I ain't picking one of you guys to tag with me at the Greene County Fair. Because, let's be honest, I think Evan got pinned for us to lose the titles. Michael Gabriel's been pinned by the ice cream truck countless of times, because that's what we lost him to. We're going back about a year. Pre-mustache KC, by the way.
Which we gotta talk about that, because there's like 4 of you guys holding the porn stash down right now. And somebody's got to shave it. So between you and Drew Hood and Wayne Moxie and Glenn Gibrelli, somebody's got to shave it.
They couldn't catch up. So I said, I made a little phone call. I called up big old brother, and I've kept my promise to the Gen 3 Express. I got what was ours and gave them the titles back.
That's right. You absolutely did. That is historically accurate, and there is video footage of this on SOM's site through YouTube. If you go to youtube.com and look up Ricky Morton, you can go back about a year ago, right before the Greenville County Fair, and you can check it all out and see everything that he's saying. It's absolutely true. He did win those titles. He did give them over.
The titles, you know what they did? They lost them.
Dropped them.
I think back to ice cream truck. And then you know what happened after? Michael turned on Evan.
Tell us.
I know the Lord. I was there. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was there.
That's very true. You are telling the truth on this side now. But I'm warning you. I don't trust him, and I don't trust you, and I don't trust the two of you together.
Together is what's best for business.
Do you really think that's best for business?
Butts in seats. People will be paying for the full seat. We might get offered for a refund because they'll be in the edge of them.
The only thing that they're going to be paying for is the opportunity for you to turn against him, just like you did.
I am a good, kind-hearted person.
Good, kind-hearted person. That's laughable, Casey. I believe that you're a good person. I believe that you're kind. I do believe that you have moments of charity that you can give out. But when it comes to business and you being on top, I've seen your two-faced diamond demons too. You'll do anything to stay on top as well.
We all have the demons we got to face. Sometimes they win a little bit. But I've seen the light. We do things by the book now. I'm going to overuse that, by the way, so we can get the song plugged.
But is it the Book of Gabriel that you're seeing the light from?
No. The Book of Gabriel is not as good as our book, the NWA official rule book from, I think, 1978. The official rules. That book means more than the Book of Gabriel.
I mean, he's got Hunter Wolf convinced
he
that
has
it means
Hunter
more
Wolf,
than the rule book.
AJ Cazana. I win.
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. But I'm just saying, you got to watch your back here, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's best for business. I think that you all need to split. You need to call a hiatus to this as soon as possible, because it's just going to be bad. It's going to turn out bad, and you know it. And you're smiling about it because you know it
trust
too.
Me. That's what it is. I thought we were boys. Thought we were dogs. You just don't trust me.
I don't trust you with Golden. I don't trust you with Golden. I'll tell you the truth. I don't trust you with Golden at all, because I've already seen how Evan Golden is and how he's going to do. And I know exactly what you're going to do in retaliation of whatever he decides he wants to do. Golden's got some problems. He's got some issues. He's got the golden touch. Let's just say it like that.
Or if he's watching, ask him about tattoos.
What about tattoos there, Evan?
It's not my story to tell. Ask Evan.
I'll ask Evan. I know he's going to be coming on next week. I'll ask him for sure. We'll get that.
Hopefully,
we'll
he doesn't have a hard time answering that question.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't trust you. You know too much.
I just like having fun. I'm just having fun here.
Well, that kind of brings me to my next point, though, is not only do I not trust you two together, but I also think that when you two are together, you do bring out a good side of each other. You do know how to work together really well. You do work wonderful with one another. You kind of guys are on the same page until it comes to gold. And I think that that's where you two are lacking a little bit, is if you all had gold, if you all had tag team titles together, or you all had a set of championships together that you could support each other in, I think that it would be different. But I think Evan is so far, he's got his head so far up his butt that he can't see the sky. And he's worried about that East Tennessee Heavyweight Championship, that he's even created false titles. True. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's created some false titles to even hold up, because he's so scared of people not thinking that he's a real champion.
Evan has a history of false titles. I was going down a little rabbit hole. I like going down rabbit holes. I went down a little rabbit hole, and I completely forgot this happened. Whenever Evan lost the hybrid championship, me and Michael Gabriel were your East Tennessee tag team champions. And then next thing you know, I completely forgot I did this. I don't know how I forgot. I made Evan a Gen 3 championship that I don't know where it went. So I hope he still has it, so he can wear it out whenever we tag again, because Gen 3 is back, if people like it or not. We're back.
Well, I wish you all the best being Gen 3 Express and working that territory, and definitely making sure that you all are the champions. But I'm going to tell you, Casey, it's a very slippery slope running Gen 3 Express again. It's a very slippery slope.
It's going to be an uphill battle for us, especially we're not hated anymore. Evan and I are both very liked. People love when we're together, love when Evan's out there. They love when I'm out there. So who knows? Like, maybe this time will be different. I'm not getting emotional. I'm just having snotty nose. I'm not going to cry over Evan.
It's okay. We know you're crying.
But who knows? If I know there's tag teams out there in the School of Morton world that haven't fought me and Evan together. They fought Evan Gabriel and me and Knuckle Gabriel.
Such as the Void.
Hey, I beat the Void. So I'm just going to throw it out there. We beat them. I think they were like 3-on-2. Me and AJ against the whole entire Void.
Yeah, but that was not you and Evan.
Evan and AJ, they're pretty close.
So they're pretty close. Not quite. Evan's not afraid to fly.
Know, trust me, I know. I keep him on a little tight little leash.
That's what we're going to go with? You're going to keep him on a tight little leash?
It's pink, too.
Are we talking about Evan or your brother?
No, Evan.
It's hilarious either way. I know he would. That's why I said it's hilarious. So we know your brother doesn't like to high fly, but he will occasionally. We've seen him do that. We saw him do it in Tampa. We saw him go against some people down there in Tampa, and you all definitely, with your dad, took over and had some business to take care of, and you all did. You all made the slime balls definitely look like children. Let's just say it like that. And No offense to the Slime Balls. I believe that they're a great group, but they just definitely were not ready for you that night. And we've got to move on here. We've got to talk about it, Casey. If there's anybody in the National Wrestling Alliance or its territories, its agglomerates that are out there that you have not faced, that
I
you
would
would like
love,
to face, who would it be?
love to wrestle Tom Lattimore. I don't care. It don't need to be for the NWA World Title. I would love it, but I would just love to wrestle Tom Lattimore. He is really, really freaking good, and I just want to have the one chance to say, I wrestled him. Like, I don't want to regret wrestling. Like, I don't want to regret anything in wrestling. The only thing that sucks for me is with Jack Stane passing away, is I'll never get to wrestle Jack Stane, and that sucks. So I want to wrestle as many of these legends, as many of these the GOATs of NWA as I would want to. So, but Tom is on the list for sure. I would love to wrestle Tom. Who else?
Tom, if you're listening, Camille, if you're listening out there, you have the challenge put out there by Casey Cazana. He would love to face you, Tom. We will definitely be waiting for your answer on this, as we know that you do keep up with us, and we know that you have wrote us in the past. So, Mr. Latimer, the challenge is out there by Casey Cazana. Is there anybody else, Casey?
Alex Taylor, if that's possible. These are all not like dream matches or my 2025 list that everybody puts out there.
Would you do it for the title?
So yeah, I'd put the title on the line. That'd be pretty cool to be the youngest NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. Alex Misery would be really fun.
Misery would be an excellent match for you, Casey.
It's got to be a crime that no one's booked Casey Cazana versus Colby Carino.
Like, Colby Carino, for sure. I
respect Colby so much. I like Colby. I would love to have the opportunity to wrestle him. He does death matches, okay? If you watch, he does death match wrestling. I'm not a big fan of it, but there's 3 people that I would do a death match with, and he's one of them. Only 3. I only do maybe 1, 2 in my career tops. I'm saying. It'd be Colby Carino.
One of the other ones?
Toby Farley. And then it would be George South.
Really? George South over
Cardona would be cool, but
interesting.
I've met Cardona a couple times, and he's crazy. You saw what he did at EC3, put out his little action figures. I don't want to land on the action figures. I'm trying to think who else I want to wrestle with NWA. Like, I really want to wrestle. Who's there? I've already wrestled Knox and Murdoch. I love to wrestle him again.
I think a really good match for you would be Soda Pop.
Soda.
To really be honest. I think you and Soda Pop would tear the house down. You probably would, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying that as a bad knock, Casey. I mean, I don't want to say like that he's under you or anything, or you're above him, but I believe that you two are so hungry that it would be
right. Yeah, I think
magic.
If I wrestle Soda, that'd be really fun. He's trying to come up here to Tennessee, so we're trying to get him up here at JCP. So I'm gonna plug my phone in. She's going to die on me.
All right,
I gotta hold it now for a minute. But I would love to wrestle Soda. He would be he'd be a good match to have.
I really believe that. I believe that with my whole heart, Casey. I believe that you and Soda Pop would tear the house down. And I don't mean that. They could book you anywhere. They could book you the first match,
I think me and Soda going on first to set the tone would be great. But the top three, I would love to go, or top 2. I'll do top 2 would be Colby and Tom. Like, I would love to wrestle either one of them. Like I said, I'd love to wrestle AT in a singles match. I've toasted with Kerry Morton. He's quick. Like, in a singles match, that dude. I wrestled him when I was 4 or 5 months in, after I made my NWA debut. And so I ended up wrestling Kerry this was great because I wrestled Kerry Morton he had Ricky Morton in his corner. I had Dad in mind when we were at the Choway Park Amphitheater. And so just to have that historical moment meant a lot because that was really fun. That was really cool.
I'll give you 2 more that I think that you should be considering. I think you should consider
Dante would be
Dante
cool from
Casanova.
Exodus.
I think that would be an excellent
I
match
thought we were
between you
talking about
two.
the main roster. I forgot about the territory.
You got all sorts of territories. And Camaro Jackson, I think you and Camaro
100%.
could tear it down.
He?
So, and
Pretty
that
boy-
would be
Pretty Boy
my
Smooth would be
wish
fun.
list. Pretty Boy Smooth would be excellent for you. I think he would be a great challenge, but I think he's got his hands full right now with Dante Casanova. He's too worried about him. Him and Soda Pop both. That'd be a great 3-way for you guys. You got it. Oh, Tim Storm. How can we forget about the legend himself,
I'd go
Baron
against
Von
him any day of the
Storm?
week.
The question persists now because he doesn't have that barrier anymore since Jax has moved on. Who is going to be that barrier for Baron Von Storm to stop the craziness?
Who knows? Maybe for him, the craziness is what's going to lead him to the world title again. You never know.
Very true. That is very, very, very true. You never know that, especially with him being the way he is, and he goes to that different place with that claw. I think that's very interesting, Casey. I really do. So we're just about out of time for today, but let's remind the guests that are here where they can catch Casey
This weekend
Cazana
we
coming
are
up.
in Forney, Texas. You catch me there. You catch me every other Sunday at School of Morton. I'll be there. I might not be wrestling, but I will be there. End of the month, the 28th, we'll be at Crossfire Wrestling, the NWA Crossfire.
Sevierville, Tennessee.
Where else? I'd love to get down to Chattanooga, the Cleveland area.
Hey, guys, if y'all are out there listening, Championship One Wrestling, if you guys are out there listening, TWE, Jameson Shook, you guys are out there listening right now, Forever Pro Wrestling out of Georgia, Coosa County, you guys are listening. Casey Cazana's open, baby.
I'd love to come down there any day of the week. We're in Georgia, too, sometime close to the end of the month. We're all over defending these United States tag titles.
And give them your booking information just in case they're not smart enough to see
hit
it
me up.
on
You
my
always
page.
hit up bookkurtkazana@gmail.com or just DM me. I'll talk with if you want to be a singles booking. Cool, I'm fine. I love to do singles work. And then if you want to do tag team, you can always hit me up, and I'll forward the message to AJ and text AJ about it.
Are you working with Dump Sanders any out of New South? You have any
Alabama?
New South that's going down?
I have not. I want to go down
Yes,
there
sir.
because I see Kinsey, Kylie, Hunter, Tyler. I love to go down. I got to hit them up.
Dump Sanders, what are you doing? Book the man himself. He's right here. Book him. Get him down there. I mean, let's do it. I mean, let's do some business, baby. I'll reach out to Dump Sanders too. I'll let him know that you're interested. If you're
I'm down
cool
to
with that.
clown. It's always. I just like having fun. It's like wrestling.
Absolutely. It's such a beautiful sport. It's such a beautiful time, Casey. And you, like I said, I said it earlier, you broke in at just the right time. You came in and it was perfect.
As soon as I broke in, the territories happened. Immediately. When me and Connor were still buddies, I told him, I was like, dude, we could not have broke into wrestling at a much better time. When wrestling's hot, when the WWE just went to Netflix. So, like, everything is looking great for professional wrestling. No matter who you work for, like, last night should have been a monumental moment to show that pro wrestling's coming to the top. It's hotter than ever.
And it's back to stay.
It's great. And if you're interested in wrestling, I'm a trainer at School of Morton. You can always hit me up about that. I can get you the information, send you to the right people when it comes to, like, payments and everything. Always hit me up. I like School of Morton. A lot of people dog it. I like School of Morton. I'm there. Ricky Morton's there. Carrie Morton's there. The women's world champion, NWA women's world champion, Kinsey's always there. She is fantastic. If people just get a chance to work with her, even for one training session, they'll be 10 times better. I'll put her over. She might not put me over. I don't care.
She is phenomenal, and is very technical. And she can teach you things that it took most of us 3 to 4 years to learn in 2 or 3 sessions.
Someone gave me a compliment the other day. They were like, AJ picked up on this wrestling pretty quick, but you picked up even faster than AJ. So I'm just saying, people learn differently. If you want to come, we can take it really slow at School of Morton. We can excel at School of Morton. If you're picking up on it really quick, that's fine. We'll keep up. We can keep up. But again, School of Morton, we train how to work a hard camera. If I didn't go to School of Morton or NWA JCP and working hard cameras and Roman cameras, I probably wouldn't be any good at NWA, but here I am. You'll also learn how to do like commentary and refereeing, which is like, even if you can't wrestle really well, or God forbid you get injured in the ring and can't wrestle again, commentary is always there. I had to pull a little bit of double duty at these last tapings. They made me go out there and do a little bit of video and video cameraing. Just when you see it, you'll know it's me because it's so dang good.
But you got to realize that is normal. And those that are wanting to break into the industry, it doesn't matter where you start, whether you're setting up chairs, cleaning bathrooms, serving food from the concession stands, does not matter where you start and break in the industry, because there's always room to grow and always room to move. You can always grow and become a cameraman. You can always become a referee. You can always become in-ring talent. You can always become an announcer. So it does not matter where you start. Just get in where you fit in, baby.
Mims,
and it's going to be
big,
great.
Strong Mims. Him and I actually started on ring crew. A lot of people don't know I was 18, 19 years old on the ring crew of the NWA before I was even a wrestler. And Mims got his big break when he was on the ring crew. And they were like, Billy's like, I need somebody to wrestle. And here's Mims. He can wrestle. And then now he has a job. Now he's the national heavyweight champion. And they didn't know I wasn't trained yet. I didn't train until I was 21 years old. I was too busy doing that college football thing, thinking I want to go pro like everybody else. But I was on the ring crew since I was like 18, 19 years old when AJ got there. And we were going all over the place. Like, they saw my face. Like, I graduated. This is crazy. I graduated from JPWA. That next weekend, I'm flying to Chicago for NWA to go help set up the ring, go help ring the bell, ring announce, or not ring announce, like do the camera stuff. And then 2-3 months later, I'm 6 months in wrestling for the NWA United States Tag Team titles in my NWA debut. So you got to be at right place, right time. Ask Ricky Morton. I am his right place, right time story.
And not only were you the right place, right time, but things have skyrocketed for you since then, especially with merchandise. Is that correct? You've got merchandise available?
This thing's beautiful. I hold it now. I am happy.
Gorgeous.
I'll hold it.
Gorgeous. So speaking of merchandise, you have your merchandise available. We're going to put the QR code up for you. It's through angrylemonade.com. They do have plus sizes available all the way up to 5X. Normal t-shirts start at about $24.99, and the extra sizes go up. I believe the highest you got is $28.99 is what happens for it. Scan that QR code, buy the Country Gentleman's merch today through angrylemonade.com. That's where you want to go, right there, to get all your good stuff. Also, speaking about the School of Morton, you were saying that you were at the right place at the right time. Well, so are we. We partnered with the School of Morton. You can go to ticketleap.com, scan that QR code right there, and at the checkout, it's going to give you a place to put in a code. Put in that code Arabbidb3aver and get you some special tickets. That's capital RABID, capital BEAVER. Get you some discounted tickets for cheap today. Casey, I believe that's going to cut it out for us. I think that's going to be all the time that we have. Oh, I lost you. I lost you, Casey. You there? I believe I lost him, but that's okay. I believe that's all the time that we're going to have for today. I do appreciate you guys coming in and being here with us. I thank you guys so much for being here. Without you, we can't do this. And that brings me to my next thing is we sell merchandise available as well at streamlabs.com/Arabbidb3aver/merch. You can get you some Wrestle Talk merch. Today, you can get one of these beautiful polos in any of these colors that we've got available. White, we've got the gray, we've got the blue, we've got a slate gray, and we've got the red, and also very many more. We've got range coats, we've got jackets. You can get all of our Rabid Beaver merch right there, our Camatola Adventures music merch as well. Definitely come on out and get that for us right there at www.streamlabs.com/Arabbidb3aver. That's spelled ARABBID, the number 3AVER. And we will definitely be out there for you. So no problem. Casey, I got you. I'll wait for you to come on back in. I'm just kind of filling some time with some fluff here.
I'm back. My phone died.
Right,
I'm so sorry.
now.
That's so unprofessional. I literally, as soon as my phone died, I plugged it right in. It was at like 5% and then just died on me.
That's not a problem. We do got Fat Boy specials, Randall, just so you know. But absolutely, we have had a great time here, Casey. I'd love to have you come back. I want to make sure that we come on back at a later date for us. But thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you soon. And tell the fans before we go, one last
follow me
word
on my
from
social
Casey
medias.
Cazana.
I like followers. I like stuff. You can follow me on X at Cazana KC. Follow me on Instagram at KC Cazana _KC Cazana. KC _Cazana, excuse me. And then Facebook is my old name, Kurt Cazana. But yeah, that's about it. It's about all the cool stuff I plug. Check out School of Morton. Check out
awesome
NWA JCP, all the NWA territories.
And you can get your tickets to any of the NWA shows at NWA or NationalWrestlingAlliance.com. Click the ticket tab and scroll down. So if you guys are in the Forney, Texas area, coming up January 11th, you're going to get your chance to see the Crockett Cup start. And you're going to get a chance to see Casey Cazana take on Eric Smalls and Big Mr. Sam. We're going to be out there having some fun. And look at this beautiful title right here, the United States Tag Team titles. What would it mean to have the Crockett Cup and the U.S. Tag Team titles all on the same day, Casey? It's so great. Youngest Crockett Cup winner, youngest United States Tag Team winner.
I want to Google the youngest Crockett Cup winner. I'm going to Google it here in a second, and we're going to see.
I believe it's you, baby. I believe it's going to be you. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye, Casey Cazana. We'll see you next time. Wrestle Talk with Arabbidb3aver.